Okay, stick with me here. As I was falling asleep last night, I had this weird idea of a video to film. Welcome to that video. We'll see how it goes. I want to share unconventional ways that I live my life and do everyday things. I'm on this process to live basically the most natural life possible. There's a million and one factors that go into that, so I think it's super interesting and I'm always learning something new. So I don't have everything down pat, but I have a decent amount of information. I thought it would be fun to share. So as I go through my day and I realize I'm doing something that might be unconventional to today's society, I will share. So first things first, part of my morning routine, I do not wash my face in the morning. When I wake up, I only wash it once a day, and I will tell you about that process later when I wash it, but I don't do it in the morning. I just don't find it necessary. I got dressed for the day. Do not wear deodorant. I don't smell. I've done quite a bit of research. If you are eating the correct diet, which we can get into a little bit more later, you don't really produce much of a body odor at all. Deodorant is also could also be hindering in your health if you're wearing an antiperspirant, because that makes you not sweat through your armpit. But sweating through your armpit is how your body naturally detoxifies and lets go of like excess heat and stuff in your body. So why would you want to block that from happening? I don't know. So I don't wear deodorant, and no, I'm not stinky. Number 3 for this morning, bra. I will do my best to not wear a bra in any situation except when it's absolutely necessary. So for instance, like today, I'm not wearing one because I decided to wear a shirt that kind of has a built-in bra, which fits much looser and is much more comfortable. If I have work, I will wear a bra just because, I don't know, the world has not accepted women not wearing bras all the time, so I just feel like I have to wear one at work. If at all possible, I will not wear a bra. From what I understand, the fabric cutting into the skin, because you know, like when we wear a bra, it's really tight, so that fabric cutting into the skin where it does actually stops a lot of the breast tissue from getting like the oxygen circulation in your body, and then that creates saggy boobs, and no one wants those. So there's actually proof if you just quit wearing a bra completely, they will perk up. You're welcome, ladies. Keep that tip in mind. Last but not least tip for right this second is brushing my teeth. I've switched over recently to a fluoride-free toothpaste. I know that we're taught when we're growing up that fluoride is good for you and it's so good for your teeth. From what I've seen and heard, fluoride kind of just does more harm than good. It's fine for your teeth, but you have to remember that when you're brushing your teeth, you're putting this substance in your mouth. So it's not just affecting your teeth. When you put things in your mouth, they naturally just absorb into your body, into your bloodstream, and you definitely don't want fluoride getting into your bloodstream. It's actually a toxin. That's why your toothpaste says if certain amount is swallowed to call poison control. I just don't think we should be putting anything in our mouth that has the possibility of poisoning us. It just doesn't add up for me. I don't use anything to whiten my teeth because I haven't been able to find a good clean product that does that. But my toothpaste does have coconut oil in it, which is a natural teeth whitener, and it's also good for your mouth, like your oral microbiome, I think is the right term I'm looking for. So all right, so while I make breakfast, we can talk about the next thing, but I'm gonna have to make this kind of just like a summarized version of this because I could talk for days and days and days about my eating habits and what I think about just food and all of those things. First things first, I don't use any oils when I'm cooking, if at all possible. No seed oils, olive oil, avocado oil, none of it. I believe that it's very bad for your health and that if you buy high quality butter, tallow, or ghee, that's 100 times better for your health. So I just use grass-fed butter from Kerrygold, and I cook everything in that, literally everything. When it comes to any other food item, I always buy organic. For eggs, I always buy organic pasture raised. Pasture raised is the term used to just show what the chickens are eating. So pasture raised means that the chickens get to roam around on their land with grass and whatever is natural to the land. So they are feeding off of grass and insects and worms, things that chickens naturally eat, instead of corn, wheat, and soy, which is what a traditional like egg farmer would feed their chickens, which is not good for us. And then when it comes to any beef products, I only buy grass-fed organic for the same reason. Cows are meant to just eat grass, but as a society, we've turned to feeding them grains and soy and corn because it's cheaper. But again, it's not good for our human bodies when we consume that stuff. It's not how the cows were meant to be fed, and so it's not how we were meant to eat their meat. So I'm very picky about those things, and it has overall changed my diet immensely. It's changed the way that I look at health, it's changed the way that I feel, and it's changed the way that I look, the way that my body just processes foods, the way that I work out. Oh my gosh, it's just been amazing. And I'm gonna sound like a crazy conspiracy theorist on this one, but I do everything I can to not use the microwave when I'm cooking. Obviously, in a pinch, you have to use it. Oh well. But if I have the choice to use the stove, I will always choose the stove over the microwave. No reason to put all of those EMF waves and such into your food. It's just not necessary. This is for my ladies. Any men watching, if periods bother you, just skip through. But I'm on my period at the moment, and so I thought this would be a really good time to share this information because I am so intrigued in women's menstrual cycles. To have a menstrual cycle in the most natural way possible is so appealing to me because I think the way that we've normalized periods in our society and the way that we're not supposed to change anything about our daily routine in today's society is just baffling to me. I feel like we should be treating our periods as they are, which is our body getting rid of tissue and starting a new cycle over. I think there's just a reason that we get more tired and that we go through pain and that we have different emotions, and I think we should acknowledge them and not just push them to the side, throw on a tampon and go to work. Like, to me, no, that's not what we're supposed to do with it. I could go really into depth in this topic and this video would be 30 minutes long, so I'm gonna try to keep it short. First things first, I feel like the easiest change all of us can make on our period is what products we're using for our period. I used to be a tampon girl because obviously it's so convenient if you are active or you have to go to a job, but I think the act of putting something, this is just gonna sound odd, I guess, but putting something inside of you to stop the flow of blood that naturally happens every month seems so backwards. I don't think we should be stopping the flow of something that needs to come out of our body. I don't like that idea. I tried using a menstrual cup. While it was also very convenient and I liked that it was zero waste, I've read some things about the cup pushing on your uterine walls that can damage the walls, and again, you're holding this blood inside of your body that is trying to get out. So not a fan of that either. So I've stopped using my cup and have gone to what they are calling in today's society free bleeding, and that just means you just use a pad or period underwear. So I found these organic cotton pads from the brand Rael, R-A-E-L. I got them on Amazon. It's just a regular pad, 100% organic cotton, because you don't want these unknown non-organic products touching your feminine parts because that can ruin your pH balance. So these have been great, and I plan on hopefully finding some 100% organic period underwear within the next month before my next cycle. And period underwear is literally just looks like regular underwear, and it was created with extra layers to absorb whatever comes out, and you can get like low absorbency or high. I think the high absorbency is supposed to hold like 3 tampons worth, and then they're just machine washable, so there's no waste. You're not putting anything inside of you. You don't even have to deal with a pad, and I think that's just an awesome solution. So I can't wait to try those out, and maybe I'll do like an updated like just period video in general once I find some. And the last thing about periods, I promise we'll switch to a new topic. I do not believe in pain medication. I've got an issue with most medications in general. Pain medication, especially if like you've just got cramps, there are so many other options options, and I'm a big fan of leaning into those options instead of relying on a man-made chemical pill. Using a heating pad, I very much do that. Laying in different positions, that helps open up your hips. So child's pose position helps me a ton. And a new thing I'm trying out this month is raspberry leaf tea. I've heard such good things about this. I don't have a review yet. This is my first batch that I've cold brewed. I'm gonna have some this morning with breakfast. It's supposed to help with not only the pain, but also other symptoms. And it's also supposed to be good for women who are pregnant. It's supposed to make the birthing process a lot easier. So this is just a bag of organic raspberry leaf tea. I'll have it linked down below and in my Amazon storefront. Back to the food for a moment, because I finished making my food and I forgot to tell you about something. Dairy products. Dairy products are one of my fave things ever because cheese. So when I am buying cheese, I try my best to find raw. What does that mean? It means it is unpasteurized. The United States farming industry, government, I don't know who's in charge of all of that stuff. I don't know. They decided years ago that pasteurizing milk was necessary for health, which might be true if you are drinking milk from cows that are fed wheat grain and soy and corn. But if a cow is eating what it should naturally eat, grass, it is totally fine to drink the milk unpasteurized. When you pasteurize milk, you are killing a bunch of the vitamins in the milk, and then they try to pump those things back in through unnatural measures. Raw dairy from pasture-raised cows is always better. Unfortunately, if you live in Nevada like me, there's a few other states as well, raw dairy products are illegal depending on the form that they're in. So the only raw dairy we can get here in the state, in Nevada, cheese. We can't get raw milk, raw yogurts, raw sour creams. But if you are in a state where that is allowed, definitely switch over to raw. There's so many more nutrients, and it also tastes so much better. Like this cheese right here, the best cheese I've ever tasted. Organic Valley is my go-to brand here in Nevada as well for cheese. If you were looking for it, they've got shredded, slices, blocks. I eat so much cheese in my diet because my focus is high protein, high fat, and the only carbs I eat really 95% of the time is just fruit. That's called an animal-based diet for you, and I have a video on that a few months ago with more information if you're interested in that. But here is my breakfast. 3 eggs, 3 sausage, lots of shredded raw cheddar. I got a coffee. I will tell you all about my coffee information in a second, but first I want to show you my groceries. That's where I just came from. I know I've been showing my groceries a lot recently. I'm just passionate about it, so I like to share it. 3 bundles of organic bananas. You guys already know the drill. I get the same stuff like every single week because if it ain't broke, don't fix it. 2 organic chicken and maple and 1 organic chicken and apple breakfast sausage. A 4-pack of the grass-fed venison salt pepper bars. So for the fruit, we got 1 container of strawberries, 2 raspberries. These are all organic, of course. 3 blackberries. They were out of blueberries, so we had to skip on those this week. Switching it up on you guys. You always know I get that 3-pack of grass-fed ground beef at Smith's. Well, turns out it wasn't 100% grass-fed, which means it's usually grass-fed grain finished because that makes the meat taste better. But I'm not here for things to taste the best. I'm here for them to be the best for my body. So we're gonna try out this meat from Sprouts. It's 100% grass-fed ground beef, and it's actually the same price as the one at Smith's. So I picked up 2 of these because I believe these are 2-pound. Yeah, these are 2-pound packages. Sprouts was doing a deal of buy one get one on a few things. This is Good Culture sour cream. I love Good Culture because it's all pasture raised dairy, but they also add probiotics into it, which we love for a healthy gut. And then their cottage cheese was also buy one get one free. I haven't tried this yet, but I'm super excited because I grew up on cottage cheese and I would just eat it right out of the container, which is exactly what I plan on doing. But it's that same Good Culture brand, and I get the whole milk, full fat kind. Now, as for the coffee, I got this from Aspire. I love this coffee so much for a few reasons. One, it's organic. Organic coffee beans are so important because coffee beans are one of the most sprayed crops. We also only use organic milks, so regardless of what you choose, whole, almond, oat, whatever the case may be. And then all of our syrups, which I used vanilla and strawberry, are made in-house with either honey or agave. No refined sugars, no fake sugars. All right, this next thing might seem kind of crazy to you guys, but I feel like if you've made it this far into this kind of video, then you actually find this interesting and you want to know more. So I'm gonna show you. I am a huge believer in not using plastic for pretty much anything, including storing food. When meat comes in packages like this, I remove it and put it into a glass container instead. Unreal when you do research on microplastics found in human blood because of the way that we use plastic for everything. We are so enthralled with plastic that it is literally in our bloodstreams now because we use it for everything. Example A, I would normally bring my reusable cup. I totally spaced it, totally forgot. So I'm using plastic, but of course I would want to avoid that. So I move my meats into glass jars. Once I shred my cheese, that gets stored in glass jars. All of the berries, of course, are gonna get washed and stored in glass as well. And even the cottage cheese I just bought, once I'm done with this, I'm thinking about moving that into a mason jar so it's not in that plastic tub. Call me crazy, that's fine. This is something that's important to me. And if you're like, what the heck is wrong with you? Just do your own research on it. Look at like people on Instagram who are actually certified. Carnivore MD is a good one. There's a lot of good people out there. I will link them down below in the description for those of you who are interested, like the people that I follow and listen to. And the beauty of the glass too is that these can be frozen as well. You can stick these in the freezer. So if I notice that this meat is gonna go bad soon, I can just throw it in the freezer. I feel like I could just talk about this forever, and I feel like there's so much information I'm leaving out because there's so much to this conversation. But I just feel like I'm gonna get a question about eating so much red meat and that being bad for cholesterol. Natural cholesterol found in red meat that's pasture raised and eggs and such is good for you and required for your body. Do your own research on that. It's time for arguably the most controversial part of this video. If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all in the comments. Please be respectful and nice. I know that this is controversial, so I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. I do not believe in traditional sunscreen. I think the chemicals that we put in traditional sunscreen cause more skin cancer than the sun itself. I don't believe in this theory that we should be scared of the sun and we should be hiding every inch of our skin in clothing or sunscreen every time we see the sun. I think the sun has a ton of healing properties. I think natural vitamin C is extremely important, especially balanced with natural vitamin A found in red meat. So I lay out in the sun and I don't wear sunscreen. Too much sun without sunscreen obviously can still cause harm to your skin and have negative effects. I'm not saying spend 6 hours in the sun a day with no protection. I'm saying I spend up to an hour at the most in the sun. I think that is perfectly safe and okay and even good for you. I know, crazy, so controversial. Second part about getting sun. This, I don't have like actual scientific research or anything, but I do follow someone on Instagram. He's linked down below. He talks a lot about getting direct sunlight on your yoni and your other part of your body down there. Getting direct sunlight, apparently it's supposed to give you energy and just be good for you. So when I am out there tanning, I do try to get 2 or 3 minutes of sun on those areas. Obviously those areas are going to be more delicate and you don't want to over sun those specifically. So yeah, please be nice to me in the comments, please. back from the sun. Now I know everyone is wondering, Morgan, if you are so against everything, what the heck do you use in the shower? You ask great questions. I use water 95% of the time. If I need to like scrub my feet or something, like if I've been outside barefoot, we'll use something like this, which is kind of the most natural thing I could find at the store. I'm sure there's better ways. Like, I don't know if you could do like a homemade soap of some sort. Honestly, I would rather just use water than make something on my own. Try really hard not to put anything on my face at all anymore, including soaps and lotions, but I will put on an oil every now and then if my skin is dry, which is this oil right here. It is an organic rose hip seed oil. That is the only ingredient in there, and I'll use that on my face either if it's super dry or if I'm using my gua sha, because you need an oil to be able to move it around your face correctly. Other than that, I really don't use anything except on my hair. If I feel like it just needs like a little refresh, I will just get it wet in the shower, honestly, and not use any product. But if it's really feeling like greasy and like it needs to be washed, I will go ahead and do a shampoo and conditioner. I do that once or twice a week just because I can't get behind like the greasy hair thing. That's just like not for me. I don't have clean products for that right now because I'm going through some old bottles of stuff I bought months and months ago. Maybe I will eventually switch to natural on that as well. But that's my shower routine. I'm gonna get in now because I am so sweaty. Forgot I was filming yesterday, so I will just fill you in right now on the last two things for like nighttime before bed. First thing I do is I mean, in general, I try really hard to use my blue light blocking glasses whenever I'm on a screen, whether that be my phone, my iPad, editing on my laptop, or just like watching a show or movie on the TV. Like, I really try to block out the blue light, but sometimes I forget or I get lazy. But at nighttime is specifically when I really try to stay on top of this, because the blue light can kind of like mess with your sleep cycle and make you not feel ready for bed when it's time to go to bed. So I try really hard to block that out. So I definitely will wear my glasses if I'm reading before bed on my iPad, or if we're watching a show together downstairs before we go up, or you know, whatever the case may be. And the last thing, I don't know how effective or not effective this is, but I put my phone away. Before I get in bed, I plug my phone in across the room so it's not near me when I'm sleeping, and I also put it on airplane mode so that it is not emitting the EMF waves or the whatever the waves are that you get from like technology being connected to internet and wireless connection and all of that stuff. I don't know how it works, but I've read lots of things that being around those waves being emitted and things can mess with your body. So when I'm going to bed, I like to just turn all of that off. Ideally, I would actually like to turn the Wi-Fi off in the house completely at night, but that's a hassle for a lot of reasons, and it's not that simple. So I just do what I can in the simplest terms by just putting my phone in airplane mode and putting it away from me. Also, it's kind of just helpful to not have your phone in bed because you're not tempted to just scroll. It makes it harder to scroll first thing in the morning when you get up, because you have to physically get out of bed to go grab your phone. And then you have to take it off of airplane mode and let everything like load and catch up throughout the night. So let me know what you guys thought of this video. I feel like I'm kind of putting myself out there. I feel like there might be a lot of judging going on based on the things I've said in this video, but that's just truly, it is what it is, I guess. This is truly how I've been living my life and making small changes, like one step at a time. If there was any particular thing I mentioned that you want me to go more in depth about, let me know. I totally can. I can do a designated YouTube video or maybe like an Instagram post or something. I don't know. The more I get into this season of life, the more I kind of want to start a podcast to talk about these things, but at the same time, because I'm not actually qualified in any of these topics, I feel like I might just be sharing information I've learned from other people when you could just go directly to their account. So anyways, whatever. I hope maybe you learned something from this video and I will see you in my next one. Bye.